is 4 o'clock.
You ain't gonna do that, do you?
So 4 o'clock, I call the city council meeting. Approved by
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, okay, first thing on the,
Look a little short, Charlie.
first thing on the agenda is the June 24th, 2025 city council meeting minutes. Are there any additions, deletions, corrections? No. We entertain a motion to approve the June 24th, 2025 city council meeting minutes.
Make that motion to approve the June 24th, 25 minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The, July 2nd workshop minutes will be tabled, because we've been done. They're all busy in here this week. Report.
Kurt, you're on.
Oh, here's Kurt. He's stuck in.
Where'd you
Want to thank all my volunteers. Training's been going really good. We've only had one medical call in the last couple of weeks, and we've had 2 small fire incidents that we have taken care of right away. And that's my report.
So people are paying attention to the no fires in general.
No, same guy 2 times.
Same guy.
Same guy 2 times, didn't care about signs.
Wow.
Oh, okay, the next thing on the agenda is the Gaslin report. Obviously, Mr. Gaslin's not here, he had a conflict. So I have. So, the bottom line is we have $218,310 in the bank. We've got, we had water bills in for 20, cigarette tax in for 250, giving us 238,560 and a few cents. We have our total bill of $20,088.90. And so the estimated remaining cash as of August 12th is $204,790.72. We also have previous month in LGIP, we have $150,496. We're getting ready to close out the water tank thing, construction, so that account still has $455,877, but we will be closing out that account, so some of that money will disappear. We did get an addition, which this shows it, we got $124,500 put into the LGIP for the community center resistance help. So we did get that money through. I think you did put it in, and I talked to you afterwards about that. So that's also in there.
That's the remodel it?
No.
What is it? What
The
is it?
resistance hub, it's gonna be a generator, a concrete pad, and cover a transfer switch for emergency services.
And that's it?
Yeah,
Okay,
this came from, Baker. They, put this in a grant for the small cities.
Oh, just another thing on that. There was a gentleman, I can't remember his name, but he's in the notes somewhere,
Okay,
who said he would put in the gas line he donated.
Yeah, I think Brian Kimball.
what
I think
it felt
that's,
like.
I think that's it, yeah.
For sure.
So anyway, we did get the money,
Yep.
so. And then they wanted us to go out to Oregon buys to, like, yes, maybe we had no problem getting into that, so hopefully we'll get in tomorrow. And look at that.
So when can we apply to remodel again, to get that grant, to remodel the season?
It's already been, it's already, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the remodel commission went back in March.
March.
You need to finish it.
Yes, I know, but that's where some of this money came from.
Okay.
Well, I do, and don't me. Anyway, so all the bills, on some of the bills, there's one here for $333, doorknob and paint, that was insurance money. Here's another, Gaslin Accounting is a little larger than usual because they are continuing to do, some of the data loading and, deposits instead of us doing it up here.
And the audit.
And the audit, yes, and they're working on 2024 audit. We may actually get that done this year. Then we'll actually be kind of, there's, RDMAC, backfill gravel and street signs, so part of that was a fire department order for gravel and part of a water, that we're gonna use for a water installation. Everything else, and self-explanatory. So, any questions? I entertain a motion to pay the bill as presented.
I'll make the motion to pay the bills as presented.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? And then for the ongoing, Rob wants, he is planning on being here at the meeting, the next meeting. We may discuss maybe changing the date of the meeting, because he does have a conflict, because he still wants to come and explain financial needs, trying to get some solutions. It will contain, an open comment. So, he will be back. I guess we could do that now.
I was gonna move that.
He would like to move the meeting to, there's 5 weeks in this month. So he would like to move the meeting to the 29th. So instead of being on the Tuesday, the 22nd, he'd like to move it to the July 29th.
At 4?
Mm-hmm. That right now. If anything changes, I'll post it. But right now, it's gonna be at 4, because you want to have several meetings. So does that work for you, any of you guys?
Yes, I don't have a problem.
Do I have a motion to move the, July 22nd meeting, city council meeting to July 29th?
I make a motion to move the July 22nd city council meeting to July 29th.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Yeah.
Opposed? Okay, and like I say, if there's a change on time, I will definitely have it emailed to throw it on. If it wasn't available today, get that done. Okay, the spare info meter plate, we're gonna table that. There's some conversation on that we will be here. Okay, the next thing was a 3% water bill increase. We have a resolution in that says it's supposed to increase at least 3% every year, which amounts to $1.40. I don't know if we want to do this right now, or if we want to wait until the second meeting and see what. So, what are you guys' thoughts?
Marcia, I thought we had to do this now, or we would have to do a new resolution.
Oh, because of when the resolution was passed, and this is when it started the fiscal year, so that they can bill for July. Well, just in comparison, what's it gonna cost us now, to go get the chemicals for the chlorine, which we're draining quite a bit now, because everybody's watering, it's gonna $356 more just to get chlorine here now. So, 3% is not very much, because we're behind, because we're supposed to start doing 3% by
Last year.
8. Well,
No, we did 5%.
years, yeah, we did.
Last year? Rob said we didn't do it. We did it the year before.
Yeah,
But
well, we
last
did
year-
it 1 year, we did 5%.
Yeah, and then it was supposed to be done, and that's what Rob said, that
Yeah.
we were supposed to, because we did the resolution, which we didn't, this one was another didn't follow through.
This is an
So it
old.
didn't get raised for 3%, so right now we're 6% behind.
So do we want to move forward on the 3% today? It'll all be retroactive to July 1.
I don't like paying any more than anybody else. I mean, it affects all of us that are on water and sewer, but I don't like the city going in the hole over all this either. And we got to get that done. I would, for 5% isn't that much more.
Okay. So that's okay, I just need to know, you guys?
That is just mine. It has to be
Yeah, I'm
voted on.
Well, I pay one of the highest water sewer bills in the city, so I'm fine with it.
Do I have a motion for what we're gonna do?
So this will be this will be their July water bill then, correct?
Yeah, this is retroactive, actually.
So yeah, because this is the start, July, the start of the fiscal year.
Mhm. So do we want to make a resolution to do this, or at what percentage?
Well, I think we should just do the 3% right now.
Yeah, and
Is that a
then we
motion?
can,
Yeah, I'll make the motion to do 3%.
I'll second.
That's tolerable.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Right?
No.
No.
I will say though, since I'm getting metered and stuff of all the water we use and everything, it's not ready meter, my bill only went up $1. So it's not that bad.
You only went over $1?
$1.
Okay. Okay, so the motion passes, so it will go to $1.40 for July 1st. I'll let Renee know. Okay. We move this, so that's okay. Okay, zoning, we have a zoning permit for 171 East Auburn. Remodel of existing building and 2 decks.
So I have gone over this and I've gone back through the ordinance. It is commercial building. I do see they want to make it, well, they went down to county first and it was commercial residential. And Dawn said they needed to come to us and now it shows that it's still storage, but it's still all under one roof. It's gonna have to follow commercial because it doesn't meet the setbacks. It is on the line. Does not meet the 15-foot setback.
But isn't it isn't it grandfathered in? It's a 127-year-old building.
It's commercial. It's on the line, but at this point, you still have to provide, whether it's commercial or residential, you still have to provide 2 parking spaces off the street. Your line is on the street, so they're gonna have to be to the side of your house. Cause you can't park on the street. You have to provide, according to our ordinance, whether it's commercial or residential, 2 parking spaces.
I measured today from the property pin, which building sit on, out to the road they oil, and it's 26 feet.
That's an 80-foot wide street. We don't go by what we plow and we go by what the width of the street is. Your pins are on the side of the street, so you have no 15-foot. You have to be residential, you have to have 15 feet for your front yard. And because of the building, I'm just thinking you probably need to have it engineered before you.
Well,
I don't even know if county probably will require that.
I'll deal with them on that because they have the building department.
Yes. But it depends on if we approve it, that they go down on that one. But it would be commercial.
Mhm.
That's gonna cost me an extra $25,000 of labor because a commercial, I'm not allowed to wire it or plumb it. So that, the labor on top of that is gonna be about that cost.
It's in commercial residential.
You're in the commercial residential and you are allowed to have a residential in your back, but now you also have storage in the front. You're still gonna have to follow with the firewalls. I'm pretty sure county's gonna do that. You're on the pins. You don't need the setback for the front yard on a residential. And you
But-
have to still provide two parking
If it's
spaces.
considered, according to the county, if it's considered commercial, I cannot wire it or do the plumbing. It has to be done by a licensed contractor.
Yes, I realize that.
That's the 25 grand in labor.
Yes, I realize that. You know, unless, I've been over this. It's been, we've had some amended, you still have to follow the residential rules when you have that in there. Unless you guys wanna have a workshop on it and discuss it, and you guys, everybody get their little ordinance out and start reading what all the exceptions are and what they have to do.
Well, if we take a direct approach from his neighbor who has fencing and landscaping in the same easement, you're saying he can't use to provide parking. I think you have a foul here.
No, she has parking in the front of her house.
And she's got one space now with her planter.
Yes, I
So
realize that.
that should, you
I
should
just-
be writing her a letter saying,
I just
Get
saw
rid of
that,
the plan.
but
Regardless of 2 spaces on the state highway side, that does not forgive for having fence and landscaping on your city street easement.
well, I realize that, and she also knows that. Anytime we can take that down, we don't have to talk to her, we don't have to ask her, and she knows that. At any time, that fence and landscaping can disappear.
So why hasn't it?
yeah,
Cause she's friends with you.
It has nothing to do with it.
She's not friends with
We're
me.
not friends with us.
It hasn't disappeared.
Yeah.
You appeared on our property and told us to move rock. We're not your friends.
I know, what you
Okay.
were asked to do is
You guys
remove
wanna
rocks
go
out of the city right away.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah, I realize
Okay,
that.
we're gonna do a workshop on this to look at this thing. 'Cause you guys need to read the ordinances too. Cause, you know, between the two, you know, we need to be familiar before we, okay, this.
One point, please. I have a contractor that's supposed to come in the first week of August.
Okay. Well,
So-
we aren't going to jam this down. We're gonna make sure we do the right decision.
Right. But
And you probably should do the first thing first and get the county to come up here and look at that building and make sure you can turn it into a building that is habitable. Because they may want to tell you no. They've done that with another building that we had in town, and they wanted to make it a commercial building, and they came in with that and said, there ain't no way, and they have to tear the building down and start all over. So you might think of that too.
well, it's been standing for 127 years.
But it doesn't
Not
matter.
very good.
This is the new age, new way, and you're building something new, and you're adding to it. So therefore, it has to have an ability, you have to be able to live in it, and it has to fucking, and because of the commercial side of this whole thing, it has to follow all of the commercial rulings. If you don't wanna turn it into commercial, then the only thing that you can really do is take that building and cut it off 15 feet, and take the outside wall, move it in 15 feet. Now you have parking, and now you have your house. This is the way this works, but I would, before you go too far, I would get the county to come up and look at the building,
Well,
for sure.
just leave it commercial if you guys are gonna, fight me this much.
We're
Leave
not
it commercial
fighting.
residential.
And we're not fighting you. We need, it's commercial.
You fight
residential.
everybody in this town that tries to fix up things. That's why all the businesses are for sale and.
Okay, this is commercial residential. With commercial residential, to do our due diligence, we all need to read all this ordinance and apply it to this specific building. And then make the decision. And I mean, we'll do it as soon as we can. I mean, it's up
You wanna
to
set a date?
Yeah,
Or-
what's your guys' schedule? I mean, I know you've got,
I'm open. Do it this week.
okay,
And I will meet you tomorrow.
okay. What was it?
You guys have a copy of this ordinance?
I believe I have the ordinance at home, but I would have to get copies. I'm leaving at 8 in the morning because I have nothing planned for the rest of the week.
Okay. Can you get a copy of the ordinance and scan it? And
Let me take a copy of the ordinance, scan it, and I'll read it as soon as we get down with city council. And then I can give Marcia or you a call and give you my opinion.
Okay.
Is there also a copy on the Trevino website?
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. I can,
But
I'll get the numbers from.
yeah, do you have, where are you gonna have some, or you have service, where you can read it?
I'll be driving to Fort or to Newport tomorrow.
Maybe the
What time-
amended-
What
the
time are you
amended
thinking?
ordinance
When are you
are on
thinking?
It might be easier just to get you a copy of it. Don't?
Yeah, because
Well,
there's
let's-
two amendments to this
What day
section.
they going at?
What day are you going at?
What's I'm looking right now, today's, where's the, this Tuesday, we can do it, we can't do it Friday, so it has to be Wednesday afternoon or Thursday. And you're out on Thursday,
No, I'm out on Wednesday.
or you're out on,
16th.
I'd
No.
be available
no, the
Thursday.
9th. I'm talking about tomorrow, the 9th or the 10th, of this week,
Oh, this week,
yeah,
okay, that's fine. I'm not, the 10th is out for me.
the 10th is out for you. We'll be doing tomorrow, right?
I'm good.
Set a time and I'll just make sure I'm in cell service.
Okay, so July 9, can we do,
You have it.
yeah, it's early, can we do it like at 1? After 1,
Tomorrow?
yeah.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Yep.
Okay. That works, Sharon, and,
I'll make sure I'm in cell service
Okay.
and I'll just call your cell phone window.
okay, so we'll have a workshop on just this. Oh, we can't do it, can't get posted.
Oh, you gotta post it 2 days, so it's gonna have to be Thursday.
Oh, for a workshop?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And
so
Charlie's
post for
out.
2 days. Charlie's out on
Are you
Thursday,
back Friday?
On Friday, that's fine.
Okay,
Friday. The
But-
11th.
Friday, but it'll have to be in the afternoon because we got, water person here. So Friday, does that work for you, Daryl?
Yeah.
Okay, Friday the 11th at 1.
Friday and 1.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing, I'll make sure that I'm in cell service.
Can we push it out to 2?
Yep. If it's okay with everybody, Daryl.
Yeah.
2?
2.
Yep.
Okay. So we'll move that on to them. Okay,
And workshops are open to the public. Workshops are open to the public if you want to come to that one too.
and then, okay, moving on.
Should we, because of his time frame, have a special session afterwards so that we can vote on it if need be, is what we decide?
What we can do is get the special session as needed. Schedule it.
Okay.
And what date is this? I'm sorry.
Friday.
This Friday?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
And then it's needed, the special session, we can vote on it one way or the other right after.
Yeah, okay, so that's good for that. Old business,
Nothing.
no, the only thing is, last, we got our check for flea market. From the chamber, it was $15,417, but there was another $350 check. So, okay, so, okay, council comment, there,
Yeah, a couple things.
okay,
Had a request from a couple residents if we could put a sign up on a sawhorse or something on, this street going up to the fairgrounds. It says, no event at fairgrounds.
yeah, I noticed that was a problem, yes.
Yeah, because of the traffic going up there and just driving
Yeah.
around. Let's see, Mark, should I answer my other question? Oh, it looks like the dredge is going to be closed for a while.
You're repairing
Well, they took the gangway out and it's not going to be open until the new gangway is put in. And there is a estimated time of a week or so, but that's not set in stone, so it could be, who knows? So,
it? Okay,
yeah, let's see, that's it for me.
okay, so they're working on it, okay.
We do have our handicap sign up there, and yes, I mean, we're supposed to have a concrete pad and all that, but right now we do have a handicap sign as you just come in, so we need to leave that open for handicap parking. It's just on the post right by the walkway.
Sherry, anything? Nothing?
Is it by a walkway or?
Yeah,
walkway from-
No, it's
It's
just
a walkway.
right down there, so when they just pull in, they can park right next to the walkway and get to the walkway.
Well, that's not permanent though.
No, well, no, it's for now, until we can get it,
Because when the snow season gets here, that you can't do that.
Right.
I know, but it's
So that's what
something.
I'm saying, though.
Temporary.
It's a temporary ordeal. Because otherwise it needs to go out. in front of
Well,
the
we
pole.
need to find the money to make that whole walkway handicap accessible and raise it up to the door and all of that too. So, I mean, it's just money, we gotta get it done. It's on the list.
Okay, and then all I'm gonna say is, again, the 29th, we're gonna have Rob here to talk about different ways to continue essential services and pay for them and not continually depleting the bank. And it will be, we'll have we'll have your council meeting, try to make it short. And then we will have, an open session where the public can give some ideas, we can talk. If it gets rowdy or people get rude, I'm gonna close it down. So come with ideas, we'll listen to you, you need to listen to us, and this is to work together, not to get into big arguments. You know, if anybody has a light bulb idea, how, make money, we wanna hear from you. Rob's gonna do the presentation, so please,
What?
please show up. And then also, since this has come up this week, we're also going to, talk about 4th of July, the Renaissance Fair, and have an open conversation about that too. It's gonna be open to the public, so it's gonna be hopefully a short council meeting as far as agenda, but we're gonna have 2 items on it that we're having the public come to give their input. And it's kind of like, if you don't come, give your input, and don't complain later. Can you wait till public comment?
And what time? And then right after that, like
It's
four?
gonna be during, it's gonna be during, yeah, so what I'm gonna try to, I need to confirm with Rob that we're gonna do our regular meeting at 4. I would like to have by 4:30 we're through, because we don't have bills to pay, we don't have all this agenda stuff. And then at 4:30, we can start, his presentation, and the Renaissance and Fairground presentation, and just, like I say, there needs to be some conversation. And now's the time to get it done, so we can, instead of listening to people complain all the time.
Yeah, you talked about 6, so people working to get to the meeting.
Well, we're gonna do several. Rob is going to do several meetings on
Oh,
the
okay.
financial. We're gonna do one during the regular, and then one we will do like next month later for more people. This is the original plan. If I find differently, it'll get posted differently, and it'll be on the website. If we change the hours, I'll let everybody know. He's just not available right now to confirm everything, or to confirm it.
Wouldn't it, just a thought, wouldn't it be better to keep our council meeting on the 22nd? Do our council meeting there and then set this up on the 29th as a workshop? Because people aren't gonna be voting on anything,
No.
just to kind of get together.
We can, but we just wanted to do it all in one swoop, and it's always light on the council meeting.
Okay,
And that way we aren't having a meeting and another meeting and that,
okay, that's
so.
But you could put it in as the 29th or as a workshop after the meeting.
Well, we
That
can,
way it doesn't run into,
okay, well, right now, this is the way, if we change it, everything will be posted.
okay.
Okay, public comment. I mean, I saw Matt first, so.
Just that, piggybacking on the parking out here. When I get back from vacation in August, I'm gonna start working on the hometown grant, and we can add that to the hometown grant.
We can,
I think so.
that'd be awesome.
That's my memory. So I'll go back and research it, but I'm pretty sure we could probably put that in there.
That whole walkway is just really dangerous, and it's really hard for wheelchair people and stuff. It just needs to.
That's it.
Well, and we also, if we do our audit done this year, we're close enough, we might be able to put into that other $50,000 grant.
That's the hometown.
Is that the hometown?
Yeah, from T-Mobile.
Yeah,
No, this is the Equinix Ladon, who's she with? Yeah, there's another agency that actually will give you money to refurbish City Hall,
Okay.
but
If
she's
you
held,
want me to do that one, I will.
yeah, okay, I'll let you, because she's held us up because our audits were so delinquent. But now that we're getting caught up, hopefully.
so you got, keep in mind any ideas how we can turn that in, because the snow coming off the roof right there, how we can turn it into handicap parking.
The handicap part's gonna end up out there in front of that golf. And then this is gonna get a handrail on this from that end to this end, that's gonna be there permanent. And then they're gonna enter from that end and you're gonna come in this way, or you can put a ramp right here for in summertime if you want. Right here, but during the wintertime, this will be closed. There needs to be a chain or a gate there for people ain't trying to cut through at this end. But there's supposed to be a handrail that goes all the way through. To
Okay.
keep people from walking in there, because that's what happened to Martin with that one time is he's trying to get in and the snow slid off.
Mhm.
It could have been a lot worse than what it was.
Yeah, okay, John,
First, I have an envelope of money, 75 of it is from the one vendor we had on city property. The rest was donated for the parking. I don't know what they put in there. I just went around and asked. I'll give it to you, you can count it.
okay,
Second, before the flea market, I, have been going up to the grounds, of course, watering, but I put out a live trap. And every day I had it out there, I caught one. I also put out one of these barrels, or the 5-gallon buckets that I jury rigged. I gotta fix it again. I got 4 in there. Could council, I looked on Amazon. The live traps are not that bad. For roughly $38, you can get 3 of them. If you'll get 3 or 5 or something, I'll put them out there. I'll put the peanut butter in there and I'll get rid of them. Anybody need these sage rats?
Yeah, what do you do with them, John?
yeah, we don't wanna know.
Cause they're like traps.
Yeah.
You do? When I take Joy, the live ones, when I take Joy for a run, I take them off the boonies and the cemetery mat and turn them loose. Now, the dead ones that drown, I've been putting them out by the roost. And so far, the next day, when I put the next ones out, and it's only a couple of days, they're gone. Some patrolling out there and picking them up at night. So if the city will give me some traps, I'll trap them. Also, like, if you run into some dirt, if we could get a 5-yard thing of dirt, I can start filling in some holes. And we've got some doozies out there right now, and that's where I'm catching the big ones. So give me the material and I'll at least cut down the numbers. I'm not gonna get rid of them, of course, but I can cut down the numbers. And by the way, the Mary Berry Hut, if you go in there, 4 or 5 of them duck under the door. So we
So,
need a trap for there.
okay, well, we'll have to get some prices and then we'll just.
Yeah, look at Amazon, they're not bad. Unfortunately, they're one at a time.
I was gonna say, one at a time is gonna take a long time.
Well, they will, and I need to, I got tied up with 4th of July, I'll pick my 5-gallon bucket and I'll re-rig that so it works better. And I can put them out and it's got a hatch on it. No little kid, I'll be able to go stick their head in there. And, anyway, if I can work with those, at least I can knock some numbers down.
Okay, thank you, John. Yes, John Patterson.
Thank you.
I guess I'll talk about the water, but just a little bit. We go over on our meter the last 2 months. Now, Trail Fest is one thing, lots of showers and stuff. But we do everything we can to conserve city resources in our park. People dump down at the freeway or whatever, if they don't want to use the dump station there. And, they shower in their campers, they bring their own water, blah, 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 90% of the time. So it's kind of disheartening when I see people running sprinklers all day long. I know they're going over their 4,500 gallons, they have to. The average shower in Oregon is 20 gallons.
Mhm.
So, I mean, I'm kind of wondering that's gonna come up as a way to save money. When are we getting water meters? Is that ever gonna happen?
Mhm.
Okay,
Mhm.
okay, now,
Working on it.
permission approach the bench.
No.
Sunford Valley ATV Association is willing to put new flooring in the community center. This is LVT, luxury vinyl tile. It's very good, it's tough, you can't hurt it,
Is it this size?
Yeah.
Or
it's
is it,
longer,
Well,
but it's that width? though?
that width,
It's that width?
it's that
I
width,
think so.
yeah. Is
4
that-
feet.
I wasn't being smart.
I
I'm
just,
just thinking, I didn't know.
What changed?
is this,
I'm a year older.
is this?
But the thing is, those.
Yeah, it's glue down, this is commercial grade. There's other ones, I think this is pretty much what we put up in our place up here, and I roll my computer chair, you know,
Mhm.
it doesn't even make a mark on it, this stuff's tougher than hell.
It's not one big roll that lays out, it's just little
It's
bites.
tiles, they're like this big,
They're
he
like,
lays out in blue, and then after it gets kind of glossy, he goes boom, 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 but he'll come up, Rich will come up from the grant, he won't charge. James, it's for me, he won't charge mileage, but altogether it's about $6,000 to do that. Everything but the bathroom, when I went in and measured and I unplugged the heater in the bathroom, I don't think we needed it,
No.
so cutting overhead. So,
How you gonna, those holes that are, the.
he'll level it, I'll go up there and prep it. And he said you can go right over the hardwood, I don't know what's underneath the tiles, but I have a tile remover. If I need it, I don't think I'll need it, but
Well, you just look under the tile, there's a lot of people missing on the
Yeah,
tiles already.
but he'll go over it with
Oh,
the
yeah.
self-leveling thing. And,
Yeah, there's a lot of them are loose, they're just laying on there.
yeah,
This is different than the stuff I do.
And I'm almost positive there's no asbestos, had somebody look at it once, they said that tile wasn't.
you can remove so much without, and it's like 20 square feet, so.
Well, I knew they make that LVP too, that
zero.
you can
No,
install.
you can remove so much.
It's a commercial building. And see,
Well,
that's
it's not
certified.
asbestos anyway, you go right over the top of it, those long.
No, I'd pull it,
Oh, you pulled it?
I would
Oh.
pull it. and-
Yeah, your ground would be too low.
Yeah.
Well, they do make a LVP too
This is the new stuff.
that you don't have to glue down too.
Yeah, but I would glue it down. We do at our house, cause the tile can come up. or
Oh, yeah,
something.
because you end up with it.
If it's glued down, it's not gonna shrink and expand.
I've put several of it down, that's just laid down and it's been down for years and it's fine.
And it won't,
It's a lot thicker than that. A lot thicker, but if you just lay it down and that's it, you're done.
it don't snap together and that's.
No, this is.
No.
glue.
So that way, if the piece gets damaged, you just lift it out, put a new piece in, and you're done.
So,
Why ain't that special?
okay, so what is the expense?
I
to
would,
the city?
this one's off the table.
What is the
Yeah,
expense to the city on this, John?
Huh?
What is the expense to the city
No.
on this? So you're gonna do the whole thing?
Mm-hmm. ATV.
Yeah, that I wrote this, so, whoops,
What do you want from the city?
Nothing.
that's what I said. That's
Well,
what
no,
I
that
said.
was money for this project.
No, the community service and that building needs to be, that's why I asked you if you got a grant and if you didn't, let's,
Yeah, well, we had a grant,
or
but.
you can get that much more than your money and use it on something
Yeah,
else.
the grant
Well,
was the federal grant.
the kitchen has to be redone, so that grant, I
We
mean.
had
that's-
one.
And this stuff, if it's glued down, he said you can heat it up with like a blow dryer or heat gun or something, and peel it up and replace the tile. But I mean, hey, it'd be hard to replace, hard to damage a tile.
Well, it's tough stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, once nobody's wearing cleats, we'd be good.
And it's not slick.
Have you
Yeah.
watched Stone
You
Change
can
on yours?
feel on ours, on my feet, I can't feel them hardly, but I can feel the grain in it.
Right. Have you ever worn your snow chains on them?
No. Have you? Yeah.
Oh, so we don't all fill the holes up under that.
Well, they're just gonna have to.
Well, they
remove it.
shouldn't.
Well, they should be, but that's.
File and it's got the same thickness of commercial where on the top 2 millimeters.
That's the color I would use for that building right there. It looks most like wood. This looks like my grandma's something. So,
Linda, when, 2, 3 years ago, snowmobile and the volunteers talked about
we would have, but you said no because the grant is coming up? Because of the grant to remodel the whole thing.
Yeah.
They got killed, it was,
So would this be after the fact, again?
Well,
the federal grants got killed.
The grant got killed.
They resubmitted it in March or April, but the way things are, the chances of it passing back to Sigal Valley is just, you know,
You know, because you
but,
guys didn't want us to do it because of the
well, right,
remodeling
because,
and expanding the kitchen and another restroom, I think.
But the
So-
grant, if we do get the grant, we can still redo the kitchen, and
Yeah.
that's where the money's
Okay.
gonna be too.
And then extend this on out. If the kitchen gets expanded, or are you, the kitchen's gonna stay exactly the way it is?
It depends on how much they give us and if they allow it, cause
Okay.
they're the one that dictates how far. we
But this
go.
stuff could be added into it, I'm sure, just add it on.
well,
But why look a gift horse in the mouth?
Well, I'm not, I'm
No,
just asking because
no.
we did it too, you know, we
Yeah.
asked to.
the grant, I'm really not too sure that it's gonna go through just because of the way money's so tight right now. I mean, the grant's probably a couple years down the road, if the least.
And they tend to give those grants right now to the buildings that need new roofs and have all the structural problems, and ours is cosmetic on the inside, so that's what's
Big
hard to
fish.
get on those, yeah.
Gary, anybody?
I like the idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a very generous offer.
We'd be willing to help. we have a meeting Thursday, if you need some help, we'll kick some in.
I don't think we will really, but.
And I think the
But,
snowmobile club would too, John, so.
Yeah, I'm really familiar with the product. I've put in several of them.
I have a hard time picking paint colors, I don't go by mine.
And if you don't like those, they have other colors, and that's the three.
Beautiful.
Yeah, that was more like wood, and that's not a very good piece with this big grain part in it, you know, but.
But the tone would be such, it is neutral, you could, colors to match that would be very easy.
And Rich can't do it right now, I mean, he's caught up, so I'd like to have it done before bingo and snowmobile club dinners and that, you know, before people start using it. And it'd probably take me a couple days at the most to prep it, for him to prep. And then it'll probably take him 2 days to do it all that, maybe 3.
Yeah, it goes down quicker.
He just, the longest thing is waiting for the glue to turn glossy.
So,
What are you gonna do with the chairs and tables and that?
We'll just move around.
Around.
Yeah, move everything to one end, after you can just move it back.
Yeah, it's stuff in my place, when I just move the furniture
You can walk on it since it's done,
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
as soon as it's glued down, yeah.
It's the easiest flooring there is to put in.
Yeah, I like the
I love it.
wires, not that one.
this one, yeah.
Yeah, the other one. It doesn't,
This is,
regardless, it
Terrible.
doesn't show the dirt is bad. The darker tends to show that stuff.
Okay, so how do you guys want to move on this?
Well, I make a motion, we, go ahead and work with the ETV Association, put the floor in the schoolhouse,
Using-
using the LVP.
using Chiltern Valley,
What is it, Shelter?
Chiltern.
Chiltern Valley.
Where they come up with these names.
Okay, so Daryl's made a motion.
I'll second. Thank you, John.
All in favor?
All right,
Bye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you, Joey.
I think it also needs to be pointed out
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
I think it was John in the ATV Association that paid for the dust abatement on Sawmill Gulch
Yeah,
and reimbursed the residents that had paid for it in the beginning.
Okay,
And so I think they deserve a thank you for that.
thank you, I didn't know if we were done that.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Thanks, Joey.
Thanks,
Thanks,
John.
John.
Okay, anything else? Anybody else?
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Second.
Bye.
First,
Favor aye.
Linda, did you wanna do something on the?
I just want you guys to see this